Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 22nd to the 28th of February 2016. So we have the Sun moving into Pisces, and this is the last sign of the zodiac. So throughout 2016 so far, we've gone back to our Capricorn roots to challenge and dig up any false beliefs at the root, to make sure that our foundation is strong with the Pluto and Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. Then throughout the month of Aquarius, we're looking at energizing and realigning to our integrity and to unconditional love with all of the Valentine's Day activity. That's all about the soul and unconditional love. A symbol for this is the swan, because when the swans come together to mate for life, they actually touch beaks and chests, and that makes a heart shape. This happens in February. So the Milky Way was said to be the swan's path, where souls come in and souls leave. And the swan has a connection with the soul and unconditional love. So as the Sun moves into Pisces, we glide on the swan's wings into the evocative realms, into the last sign of the zodiac. We're dealing here with etheric water. We're having a look at the invisible realms, how far we reach outside of our body, the transmission and reception that goes on beyond the five senses. And Pisces are able to dissolve the blocks and see through the veils, to cleanse on a cellular soulful level before we step over the spring equinox fresh and rejuvenated. So the week begins with the full moon in Virgo, and there's a fine axis here, Virgo and Pisces, because the Sun is nestling up to Neptune in Pisces, while the moon is with Jupiter in Virgo. Esoterically, Virgo is ruled by the moon, and this is the sign of the harvest goddess, the cycles of time at the time of the harvest, because Virgo is the last of the first 6 signs, which then take us inwards through the winter. So it's the ending of summer and the sowing and the reaping. Whereas Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac that takes us over into the new cycle at the spring equinox. So in a way it's like night and day. It's like rational versus intuitive. We have a fine pull across this axis in order that we can work with these energies and clean ourselves up in time, that we don't take anything heavy, anything that we don't need, anything that's not serving us anymore, over with us when we move into Aries. So this is a great week to have a look at that balance. Are you ruled by logic and rationality, or are you ruled by your intuition and your emotional intelligence, or just your emotions? Is there an actual fusion there? Are they both in balance? We hear that people are calling themselves right-brained or left-brained, and finding themselves associating with one hemisphere more than the other, and then stopping there. But wouldn't it be better to have both? Wouldn't it be better to work on the weaknesses? So if you're more of an emotional intuitive, wouldn't it be better to actually work on that discernment and that rationality and that reason in order to come into balance? Or if you're a person that lives in their head, wanting logic and reason in everything, then wouldn't it be better to find time in the average day to balance out and listen to that intuition and that emotional intelligence? So as the full moon in Virgo comes in on Monday, we have a whole week where we can explore that axis, where we can get into balance and we can walk into and own our complete coherent beingness. This is also a good week to see how thoughts and emotions are connected. They're not separate. So we can be thinking something and then feel into the emotion of it, and this is our truthometer. We can be told something can be presented to us, but if it doesn't feel right, then our emotions will tell us that. Or we can feel something, and if it's a repetitive emotion that we keep having that's keeping us in a cycle, then we can use our sharp mind to go in and explore that emotion, to see whether it's ours, to see whether it's serving us, to see whether it's something that we want to keep thinking, or whether we can break the mould and think differently for truth and clarity. So this is a great week to explore the two different sides of the equation and find the fusion in the middle. But also we can challenge dualistic thinking. We're very much told to accept the equation, you can have this or that, And sometimes it's best to stand back and say, well, can I not have it all? Is this even something I want in the first place? But we're encouraged to race towards giving ourselves a nice, comfortable personality label. I'm a this kind of person, or I'm a that kind of person. But what if we step into our wholeness now, like I say? So have a look and see if there's any dualistic thinking going on. This can come through in language, this can come through in phrases that are almost subconsciously, unconsciously accepted and then worked upon. But we've just walked through the arena of Aquarius, and we still have Mercury and Venus paired up in the middle degrees of Aquarius, saying, well, challenge that really before you accept it. Challenge if it's even true. So this is a wonderful week to engage, first of all with the Sun moving into Pisces, then on Monday with the full moon in Virgo, looking at that opposition and finding the fusion in the middle between the Pisces and the Virgo, the intuitive, ethereal water and the logical, productive earth of Virgo. To rinse out in Pisces, having had a look back at anything that's gone on in the last cycle, because Pisces holds the seed of everything that's gone on since the last cycle began in Aries. To have a look back with forgiveness, compassion, letting go of any friction, seeing the situations that have caused you reaction as messages rather than shooting the messenger. So looking back and summing up everything that's gone on as we dive into the unknown realms, as we cleanse ourselves on a massive scale, and as we sovereignly decide what we're going to take forwards and what we're going to leave behind. So as the Sun into Pisces, immediately meeting the full moon in Virgo, is the dominant factor of the week. This is what I feel we can put our focused attention to for real cleansing. We can release programming. We can rinse ourselves on a cellular level. With Venus and Mercury in Aquarius, we can decide for ourselves what's true, what's our dynamic, and how we think and how we feel, what our beliefs are, in order that when we start the new cycle, we are our true selves rather than part of a program. And we can step into that fine balance of reason and intuition. We can find the fusion in the middle, and we can become coherent and resonate our true tone. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. If you'd like to explore these aspects and what they mean for you personally, then on a day-to-day basis I have a write-up on www.astrozo.com, and I post horoscopes on Astrozo Facebook. On Facebook I also have a private members group where we're discussing these subjects as they come up, and it's a lovely forming heartfelt group where we're exploring all sorts of current astrology as well as learning astrology in general, and tarot and numerology and other subjects as they come up. So you're very welcome to come and join us there too. I also offer one-to-one readings over Skype or in person in London, and I have a whole range of online courses where you can study at your own pace. So for any of this, please do come and find me, zoehind7@gmail.com.